Japan has held one of the highest average IQ scores in the entire world for over 40 consecutive years. Why does a small island nation with almost no natural resources produce the most innovative and disciplined minds on Earth? Is it a secret hidden in their genetic code, or is the answer found in the very first moments of a child's life? A one-year-old boy trips and falls onto the hard ground in a park in Tokyo. He begins to cry and looks up at his mother with tears in his eyes, expecting her to rush to his side. The mother stands just a few feet away watching him closely, but she does not move an inch to pick him up. To many Western eyes, this might look like a cold moment of neglect or a lack of empathy. But to this Japanese mother, this is one of the most powerful gifts she can ever give to his developing brain. In the next 10 minutes, we will walk through the 4 specific habits that researchers believe matter most for raising a brilliant child. I will be completely honest with you because there is one habit on this list that I personally find almost impossible to practice. We will save that difficult habit for the very end of our journey. Some of these methods may sound extreme to those of us raised with Western values. The goal is not to tell you exactly how to parent, but to show you what the science actually says. You can then decide which of these ancient secrets fits best within your own family home. The 4th habit on our list is a beautiful concept known as skinship. In Japan, the word skinship describes a profound level of closeness achieved through physical contact. It is a word that does not have a perfect translation in the English language. Japanese mothers and their babies often bathe together every single night as a ritual of connection. Families frequently practice co-sleeping until a child reaches the age of 6 or 7 years old. For the first 2 years of life, babies are often carried in slings against the mother's body rather than being pushed in strollers. In the West, we are often warned that too much holding will spoil a baby or make them overly dependent. However, the latest scientific research tells a completely different story. A study published in the Journal of Developmental Psychology found that infants who experience consistent physical closeness show measurable changes at the molecular level. This closeness actually affects the genes that control how a human being responds to stress for the rest of their life. Other research from Notre Dame University has linked early skin contact to stronger emotional regulation and better cognitive performance years later. Japan is a world leader in high technology and robotics and bullet trains. Yet in the most intimate corners of their homes, they have never abandoned the ancient way of holding their children. They prove to the world that being modern does not have to mean being cold or distant. The 3rd habit is providing real and complex food from the very beginning of the journey. In many countries, weaning starts with bland rice cereal or sweet fruit purees. In Japan, the very first flavors a baby experiences are miso broth and soft white fish and seaweed. They are introduced to savory and steamed vegetables and tofu as early as 5 or 6 months old. This diet is packed with a specific omega-3 fatty acid known as DHA. The human infant brain is roughly 60% fat, and a huge portion of that fat is made of DHA. Without these essential fats, the brain literally cannot build its architecture properly. A long-running study from the University of Bristol followed thousands of children to see the long-term effects of early nutrition. They found that mothers who consume more seafood during pregnancy and early infancy had children with measurably better verbal IQ. These children also showed better fine motor skills and stronger social development by the time they reached age 8. Standard Western weaning foods like applesauce and sweet potato purees are not bad, but they are mostly just calories. They are not specifically designed to be brain food. Japanese babies are given the gift of real and bitter and salty and complex flavors from their very first bite. This single choice shapes more than just their brain power. It shapes the entire relationship that child will have with food and health for the rest of their life. The 2nd habit is a communication style where parents refuse to talk down to their children. In most Western homes, you will hear a high-pitched voice and an exaggerated tone often called baby talk. In Japan, there is a different approach called katarikake ikuji, which translates to narrating childcare. From the very day a baby is born, many Japanese mothers speak to them in full and normal sentences. They explain exactly what they are doing as they move through the house. They describe the changing weather or narrate the process of making dinner as if the baby understands every word. To an outsider, it might look strange to have a one-way conversation with an infant who cannot respond. But inside that baby's brain, something extraordinary is happening. Researchers Betty Hart and Todd Risley discovered that the number of words a child hears before age 3 is the strongest predictor of academic success. By the time they reach kindergarten, some children have heard 30 million more words than their peers. While gentle and melodic baby talk can help with language development, there is a dangerous trap in dumbing down our speech. The Japanese approach keeps the warmth of a mother's voice, but drops the simplification entirely. This habit costs absolutely nothing and requires no expensive toys or educational apps. It only requires you to talk to your baby as if they are already listening to you. And the most beautiful part of this science is that they already are. Finally, we reach the first habit, which is the one I told you was the most difficult for me to watch. It involves giving children real responsibility, long before the rest of the world thinks they are ready. In Japan, there's a famous television show called My First Errand that has been running since 1991. The cameras follow toddlers as young as 2.5 years old as they walk through city streets alone to buy groceries for their mother. They navigate real traffic and interact with real shopkeepers while the parents stay behind. To a Western viewer, this can feel shocking or even dangerous. But the errand itself is not the most important part of the tradition. From the moment a Japanese child can walk, they are given real tasks like pouring their own water or carrying groceries. They are expected to put their own shoes away by the time they are 2 years old. In the West, we often delay responsibility because we want to help our children or save time. In Japan, the assumption is that if a child is 2 years old, of course they are capable of helping. Research from the University of Minnesota tracked children for over 25 years into their adulthood. The study found that the single best predictor of adult success was whether a child had household responsibilities, starting between ages 3 and 4. This was a better predictor than the family income, or the IQ of the child, or the education level of the parents. Most of us are still spoon-feeding our children at that age. This is the hardest habit because every instinct in a parent wants to step in and fix the struggle. It is painful to watch a small child struggle with a task that you could finish in 5 seconds. But that discomfort you feel is the exact moment the brain is being built and strengthened. The smartest babies in the world are not being trained with flashcards. They are being trusted. They are held close and fed real food and spoken to like humans and given the dignity of independence. This is not just a parenting method, but a way of seeing the hidden potential in your child. The most powerful part of these 4 habits is that you can start any of them tonight. It costs nothing more than the simple choice to do it. Which of these 4 habits made you stop and think the most? Please share your thoughts with me in the comments below. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.